There we go. Episode 117. 117, ready to roll. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Let's go ahead and just riff for a minute. Yeah. I am Will.
I'm Pat.
I guess I was supposed to riff longer than that, so that was Jeff. I spoke over him.
Well, I made it to my seat. So, yeah, I guess that wasn't going to take a minute.
Nah, we're good.
Hey, Arsenal. Yay, coffee.
Before bed.
Yeah, I haven't been drinking as much coffee lately. So, soda. Switched over to soda during the day.
What kind of soda?
Just like a Coke.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like I guess I got tired of the coffee that I had at my house, so that's fine. I'm not looking at you like Judas, you know.
I know. I'm shocked.
Well, I'm not drinking that fucking green toxin that you drink right there. So,
look, I picked it up for you. I drink like twice as much as I used to now.
Do you?
Yeah.
So I think it, like, I don't know what it's been, but like, so now that I work in the afternoons, when I get up, it's just like,
Just doesn't feel like coffee time?
I drink a cup of coffee and then I get dehydrated a little bit later. And so now it's just like, because I used to drink like 2 cups of coffee in the morning and then I'd have like something to eat and some like stuff. And now I just, you know, was like, I'm going to grab a Coke.
Well, do you ever actually
work in the last couple of days?
Do you ever actually drink water?
I drink a shitload of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, 1 cup of coffee shouldn't dehydrate you.
I don't know what it is. So,
well, I mean, it does. But I was like, look, because there are some people that just don't drink water. I'm just going to throw it out there. There are times where I'm like, oh boy, why do I feel so thick? You know, it's like, what, it's like
good description of how that feels. Yeah.
Because you're like, why is my blood so hard to move? You know,
it's like I gotta work on this a little bit, you know? Yeah. Start flexing your shoulders. There we go.
Yeah, and then you go to the bathroom, you pee, and then it comes out. It's like, well, that's motor oil. Okay, well, I got some right here.
Yeah. You gotta take care of that right now.
I see what the problem is. That's why I can't see straight. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
My glasses are perfectly clean, but I can't see. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I drink water pretty much all day.
Okay.
So I've always got my coffee cup and my water bottle driving down, and then it gets filled at least twice when I'm down there. So.
Wow, yeah, you do pretty good.
You're not supposed to drink. I mean, like, so there's people out there like religious where they have like the fucking
cup, it's a jug that measures their whole day's worth.
You know, and I've seen so much contrary advice on that too. So where it's just like your kidneys are designed to function, you know. So yeah, you know, why don't you trust them? You know,
if you're thirsty, drink.
Right? Yeah. If you're not thirsty, you don't need to hydrate.
You need to force this in.
You actually have
7 cups.
Yeah, you have a feedback mechanism.
Well, and you're also getting
thirsty
fluid from the food you eat and different things. It's like
that's true. Yeah.
You don't need to drink 8 literal cups of water, like.
But then there are people that need to drink more than that, right? Because
if you're doing stuff,
and that's
yeah.
And so you'll see people. I'll see people that clearly need that jug, right? I used to work with some guys like this, like, huh. You went to the gym before work and you're going to go after, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, you probably need to be drinking water like this all day. But then you see those chicks and you're like, nah, this is not your key to health.
Well, either that, I've seen really fat guys do it too.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like...
if it keeps them from drinking soda...
Oh, yeah, maybe
as long as you have that in front of you, you're just like, well, I'm not going to the fridge to get something else.
Yes.
I've got this here.
But let me explain why that's a problem.
No.
Because I was trying the whole... I've never gained weight so fast in my life, right? I'll drink a ton of water. Why? Because you feel full.
Right.
Okay? You know what you're doing when you're doing that?
Stretching your stomach.
Constantly. So when you do eat,
Whole pizza goes in here.
it's like you're training for a contest.
That actually came. I went to a friend's birthday party on Monday, and that came up that they would have eating contests, and you drink as much water as you could
yeah.
the hour before you eat, stretch it out,
Yeah.
and then go to town. And I'm like, well,
Do you barf up the water?
No, you'll process it.
It
Okay.
clears out, but it leaves you. You put in that much water, it stretches your stomach out. As that goes out, your stomach, you're starving.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
you are literally starving because your stomach is so big right now. And it has no food in it.
that makes sense. So, yeah, a couple times where I was overdoing it on the water, I would get really hungry.
Yeah, as soon as that gets out of your filtered out, it's just like, all right, there's nothing here.
Well, and this is the other part of it. This is the other part of that people don't even consider is, number one, you stretch out your stomach. Number two is all of the whatever it is in your body that's at equilibrium, right, has been severely diluted. So
pH balance and all that.
absolutely. So your body is also going to sit there and turn all your mechanisms for like, you need the things that actually bring us back these things to balance, right? So all of your cravings are going to be like going like fucking haywire.
Oh, yeah,
Eat
you
everything.
everything. Yeah.
Yes. As a matter of fact, a lot of the guys that I've seen that, like those dudes that are needing to do this because they're lifting or they're going to be working out, right? They also put the little salt packets in.
Yeah, I see.
Right?
Yeah. They basically turn it into Gatorade. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought it was Gatorade they were putting in there.
Well, I kind of, I mean,
Well,
that's
sometimes they have that flavor
crystal.
But
yeah, well, that's a
sometimes
trick.
just straight up salt.
Yeah, well, that's the trick behind Gatorade. It's just sugar and salt. So, yeah. There's nothing really like high tech about it.
Electrolytes.
It comes from sugar and salt.
Powered electrolytes.
Here's the thing: it comes from salt. It does not come from sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar is there to mask the flavor.
Right. Yeah, because otherwise it would taste like seawater.
Which is why I don't mind that taste. But evidently,
You'll go fucking crazy.
Yeah, I never thought.
it turns out that most people do find it objectionable. Yes.
Like whenever I was a kid and I lost a tooth and I'd get to switch around the salt water, I was like,
Yeah, it's kind of
that's
gross.
tasty.
Yeah.
No, I.
Oh, you liked it?
like,
Never mind it. No. I have a taste for it.
That's great.
I don't
needs
have
a little
salt
more.
tooth that a lot of people have.
I don't think you do.
No, my
Yeah.
wife sure does. I do not. So,
I do. I had that. I made that jerky that almost made me go blind. I got so sick from.
Well, William's already on his path there too, so
Is he?
yeah, he puts as much salt on the food as I do already. I'm like, William, you need to stop. You gotta put the brakes on it now. When you're my age, you're gonna be like, unless I see it on top as a new layer, it can use some more.
oh, wow. Yeah, no, the only thing that I really salt is like when I'm making meat. So I'll salt it up real good before I fry it up or something.
Well, you have to. I mean, that is the quickest way to bland meat is to sit there and say like, oh, I'm not going to season this. I'm like, okay, gotcha. Are you eating like a $50 steak? Because otherwise, you're not going to get the flavor out
Yeah,
of it.
no. Yeah.
And frankly, you probably don't want that flavor anyway.
Like it's just there's like two cooking tricks that I've learned over the last year, and that's one is salt your shit before you cook it. So and let it sit for about half an hour,
Yeah.
and it comes out wonderful. And that's true for steak. It's true for chicken. It's true for hamburger.
Yep.
So yeah, so I'll let it sit for half an hour and just like brine up. And then the other thing is like just medium heat, and like just burn the shit out of it. So-
If that's what you want, right? Like for freaks, like, well, I don't know if I'm a freak, but like, I like it, bloody in the center. So yeah,
What, hamburger?
hamburger too.
Oh yeah, no. Like when I'm making a dish like taco seasoning or something like that, yeah, I like it. I don't let it get gray. I let it get brown.
Well, okay, so if I'm
It
making
comes out good.
hamburgers, yes,
Oh,
I
yeah.
want those like rare in the center,
Yeah,
right?
no,
But yeah, if you're talking about if if I'm going to chop this up and
Yeah.
you know everything. Yeah, I got you
I
100%.
can't make hamburgers that have pink in the middle. Ever since I learned the smash technique, so I just make them so that they're razor thin.
Well, I do too, but that just means you cook on high heat for very.
So like 30 seconds on a side, just enough to get it caramelized.
That's that thing right there.
Yeah. No, I don't have one of those.
Well, no, that's it, it's like, okay, well, I can get both sides at once.
Yeah, just pointed to his waffle line.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was a panini press.
Well,
No,
it's
a panini
both.
press.
It's both. It's a press, it's a grill, it's a griddle.
It's George Foreman 10.0.
2.0, yeah.
Sort of, yeah. Actually, that's sort of where that comes from. So yeah, you even reduce the time burgers go in because if they're getting flat, it's like it's about 45 seconds. Out you go. Yep.
See, there's many things that I overlook from the stuff I learned in microbiology, but leaving it red in the middle of a burger, I just can't. That one I can't.
Dude, I'll eat.
That
I've at times I've actually like grabbed a clump of like raw hamburger and eat it.
Yeah, well, it's tartare. So, there's people who do that, but I don't have the stomach for that, man. So, yeah.
that's where the germs are.
I know.
So it's not as toxic as chicken is, but
That's true. That is different.
Okay, now my problem is chicken. That's why I hate cooking chicken. Is I am so paranoid about chicken. And it's like this doesn't taste good. I can't penetrate the crust because
yeah.
It's like an egg, you crack the shell, and there's real chicken inside.
you go out there and make chicken breasts. Like, what are these? It's like, well, I've managed to concoct 3 asteroids, in my grill press over here. Yeah, I'm so afraid of chicken, but yeah, hamburger.
No, I can't do that with that.
I don't blame anybody for saying like, Jeff, this is gross.
I've had that. I've had steak tartare prepared, where it's on crackers and shit. And it's tasty, like 1 or 2 of them, but I can't sit there. I mean, it's not designed for you to maximize your exposure to that.
No, that's the thing about that is, yeah, I take like 1 plump, right? And that's fine. I certainly wouldn't sit there and like, what is that? I'm like, well, this is the bowl I'm taking over to watch the football game, right? I'm not going to sit there with club crackers and basically scoop it out. And
Yeah, but there's guys who do that, man. So there's cultures where that's
Midwest,
okay.
yeah.
So yeah. But no, it's like there was one time I had it at my mother-in-law's. So she did a good job. She made it with like this really nice, like almost like a hollandaise sauce. It was really good.
You can do that.
So, but you don't want you just like limit one, kind of thing.
Yeah, or the other thing is that you add some kind of like citrus to it, which can be really good, right?
See how that would work.
Yeah, absolutely. But still, you don't have to go nuts with it. And frankly, like, so when you're doing this right, you have to be the one that's doing the grinding.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can't do that with the King Supers pack. That's asking for the tube that looks like it's a fireplace log.
Yeah, so when you buy one of those Safeway Duraflames,
Ooh, this one's got meat in it.
meat Duraflames, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's the people I know who've really done a job on that. They pick the beef. They go to like the actual butcher shop and they know.
Is there a good butcher shop around here? Or you just go to the one at the counter?
At this point, dude, forget about it. Like, I don't even like. So there's supposed to be one down there. I think this is the place your dad used to go to.
That was over on Murray.
Yeah.
So that's long gone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I'm sure there is, but I haven't even looked.
Yeah.
But yeah, the people that know, they know.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. So I don't know. Costco hasn't done me wrong on meat in a while, so they really haven't.
Yeah, and you're also not eating it raw, so.
No, not eating it raw. So yeah.
No, that doesn't even sound remotely appealing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, even to that end, I've never even been fucked up by like gas station sushi, so
Well, that would do it for most people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
Spin that wheel, boy.
It's one of those weird moments. Most people see this when they're like hanging onto a suspension bridge, but you know, it's more me looking at this like 7-Eleven sushi and saying like, we're all gonna die sometime.
Right. Well, you spin a 90 on the first spin, and you're like, I'm going to give it another shot. You know? One nickel, nailed it.
Yeah.
Everybody else that sees that goes, "You're really doing sushi here, huh?"
Oh, man.
You're gonna eat 7-Eleven's raw fish. Well, the problem is
They're not saying like to you. They're looking at the 7-Eleven guy going, "You're really doing this here?"
You know, again, I've tried it. It's the problem is it's not good.
Right.
Well, I think that would be pretty clear.
No, stop. Because the reason I afforded that luxury is because of so many of the little breakfast sandwiches and the barbecue shaped sandwiches.
But none of that stuff requires freshness. Like,
No.
those are all things that technically you can get out of the freezer and throw in the microwave.
Which is sort of what I figured was going on here in some way or another.
Just got, like frozen sushi rolls that got sent out.
Which is antithetical. Yes, I'm like, okay, so maybe you got... Look, I'm not going to say that I don't enjoy a lot of the finer things in life. I absolutely do. But at the same time, I also was raised on, like, what we would call American peasant food in some ways because, like...
The Midwest's finest.
It just in some ways where, like, what is this? It's like, well, this is spaghetti. It's like, how's this spaghetti? This is spaghetti with a can of Hormel on it, right? But that was spaghetti.
That's a very specific kind of spaghetti. That's not from here. Yeah.
Nope. That's an Ohio specialty.
That's an Ohio specialty.
But still, most people, you'd look at this and say, I never had kidney beans in my spaghetti. I liked it, right?
I hated
I know
that.
you did, but in hindsight, I can look at it now and say, I actually kind of like this.
We used to do that camping.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would pick out each individual bean.
You don't like beans?
No. Kidney beans, God, they were like the worst.
Beans,
What about refried beans? You like those?
Not a
Oh
chance.
my god, dude, this like
That's like beans that were made to look disgusting.
it looks like cat food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even there's zero appealing to that part.
Oh man, I'll never pass up refried beans.
I've never tasted it,
Well,
and I will never. That I cannot.
kidney beans? Not. How about like navy beans, like white beans?
No.
No. Okay.
Green beans are fine.
Those are very different.
Yeah.
It has beans in the name.
There are quote beans inside the shoot. Right. Yeah.
Right.
But it's really the shoot that you're eating.
If you camouflage them enough,
Yeah,
I guess
it's
it's
got
okay.
little nuggets in each one of them.
Well, that's the wacky thing is like green beans, yes. And then it's like, but peas vile.
Oh, those are gross.
Oh, I love peas.
But they're essentially just the things
Taste
that are
way different. They're like
I know. It's,
Yeah, they do kind of taste a little bit different. Yeah.
they're these disgusting little mush balls.
Oh, they're so good with ham, though, man. Anything with ham needs peas. So
Pineapple.
that works too. All right, I'll give you that one.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't have to accessorize my peas with a meat to make them work. I'll just eat peas.
Yeah,
right?
me too.
You know the only way I ate them.
Was like with a blindfold and a cigarette.
There was so much brown gravy
Yeah.
that I was basically like swallowing the peas.
It's like a dog, you know, you can take some pills inside your food.
Rub its throat.
Yeah.
That was the only way I could do
It's fun. Look, if you don't like them, but you still
You
eat.
decide what you put in your bucket.
You eat different vegetables now too, though, yeah.
them.
Or fruits or something, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I had to eat them as a kid. That's why I didn't make William eat any of that stuff because I was scarred.
I was fine, Will.
Now you enjoyed all of it.
Will's food.
Yeah, you enjoyed all of it.
Not all of it. I mean, there are things that still to this day, like, ugh.
What of the things that we were served did you not like?
I will never.
Yakinish?
No, I'll eat the shit out of that, man. If you had that right now, I'd challenge you to a contest.
Yeah, it's been a
No,
long time.
But I don't know. I don't know how to make it. I don't want to know because I don't want to lose the magic on it. It's just like this is
What is this?
It's kind of like
What's it called?
Yakimish.
Okay.
It's like a fried rice with potatoes and
hamburger and
Ooh, it sounds
really it was like small chopped, really finely
Yeah.
diced onion,
sure.
it was great.
Almost like scallions.
little carrots. Yeah,
nice.
really quite nice. And there was like a little you make like egg soup with it too. It's
Yeah.
great. But yeah, it's the same thing. Like mom showed me how to make her meatloaf. I don't want to know. Tell me tastes good when she makes it. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the shit that I don't like, don't ever put a potato pancake in front of me.
Oh, you don't like those?
Well,
Well, I wasn't a fan either.
Really? I love those, man. Oh, man.
I know it seems like something would be right up my alley, right?
Yeah.
You mean like when she made the tuna fish patties with the potato, like one of the driest meals on the planet?
Well,
That was yes, yeah. And if you recall, I ate sand.
yeah, no, I like potato pancakes. So,
Like I said, they'd sound like they'd be right up my alley, but that I can't do it.
to be fair, I'm not a big fan of tuna. So,
I
yeah.
like tuna, but yeah,
I'm not a big fan of tuna.
I told him I had it at one of the breakfast places. They had a breakfast pot pie.
With tuna in it?
No, not tuna. But like,
What the fuck, man?
it was so good. Like it's a biscuit as like a giant biscuit as the pot pie and all the
Ham
stuff
and
inside
sausage
and everything's just in there and it just
yeah.
fantastic. I was like, wow.
Right, so where was this? Where'd you get it? The local shout out if it was a good place.
It was called I can't remember right now.
Is that a work deception device?
Yes, it's holding down an arrow key. So
Would you?
We're just gonna. This is not TV. I'm just gonna leave that one where it is. Use your imagination, folks.
Well, no, I was.
it involves a tape measure in my computer so
Big
that
Stanley.
my computer does not shut off while I'm doing nothing because my work has nothing.
Well, I was going to say, do you want to describe to these people what the improvised action device is?
He just said it's a tape measure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Holding down one button so my computer doesn't turn off because
It's like,
the
what
work
are you
computer.
measuring? And then I see, oh, it's actually performing a function other than its intended purpose. Got it.
Their work computer will not allow me to put a setting on that will not let it go to sleep.
Okay.
Remote monitoring great stuff. There's like so many little apps and programs you can download that do that shit. So, yeah. I saw this one that's actually like an overlay that you can put over Zoom. And so you sit there for the meeting for like 4 or 5 minutes and it just record your movements. Yeah, and it'll just start recycling it. So after a little while.
Yeah, that's how they fooled Dennis Hopper in Speed.
It's exactly how they did it. Yeah, except for now I can download it and use it at work. Yeah. So, yeah.
And then when he figured it out, he got pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever they do find out in any movie, because I just watched Kaleidoscope, which is like an Ocean's 11.
So you were saying, yeah, was it any good?
It was pretty good. I was happily entertained.
Well,
And it wasn't crazy special effects. It was just good story. But yeah, once the loop gets turned off and he sees it, yeah, it's full on rage.
right. I can't believe it.
They're in the safe. Oh my god.
God. I'm actually teaching a class on Zoom right now. It's actually both. So it's in a classroom, but it's broadcast via Zoom.
Oh, okay.
And I am way beyond the point in time where it's like, turn on your camera. You know,
Oh, yeah.
I don't give a shit. So,
They're watching.
in fact, I mute them all now. And I say,
right.
like, if you want to talk to me, so drop it in the chat. So, because I can see it. I don't want you blasting out my speakers.
You don't
know.
want them to hit the raise hand button.
I think they can. I would never notice.
All right. Now, I do have to say, in comparison, I don't tolerate that because it's just one person.
If I was doing a one-on-one session, I mean, motherfucker, turn your camera on.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I'm gonna turn mine off. You know.
That's been my rule, and I was like, yeah, and if we turn our cameras off, then I'm just going to sit over here and play Tetris too.
Yeah. No, that definitely makes sense in a one-on-one session. So I got you on that. So
Well, I get a little bit grumpy. I do. It's like if you're wasting my time even for a millisecond. This is over.
This is over. You're fired. You know? So, yeah.
Now with the adults, whatever, that's fine because that's their money. But if it's kids wasting their parents' money, I get pissed. Even though with these kids, they could sit out there and burn the $100 bills one by one and nobody would notice. It's still like, I can't in good faith do this.
Yeah.
These fucking kids told me all the places they went over this European holiday vacation, right?
Oh.
All the places they traveled to and all the fun things they did. And I'm not mad at them. I'm not mad at myself, but I'm like, like, you guys really do have advantages.
When your parents can just rip off $100 bills. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, the kids don't have a choice, and they're born in those families.
No, of course. That's why I don't sit there. I'm not gonna hold it over them for living La Dolce Vita or whatever, a sweet life. But there's a part of me like we had very different childhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they're wasting my time, I'm like, nah, I'm going to talk to your mom right now. Mm-hmm. We're going to come correct. And if we don't, then we're done here.
I get a few rich kids every now and then, but they're in athletics. So,
Sure.
Yeah. It's a little bit different. You know, but I've had a few. It's like, what are you doing over spring break? Oh, we're going to Switzerland. It's like, fuck you. So,
again, it's weird because it's weird that's the reaction. I obviously can't be mad at them, but I'm like, but it is. I'm like, well, I'm going to be working.
Yeah. So.
I don't think I have any bitter, like, I'd be like, cool, what's you guys doing? Tell me all about it. Like,
I don't know.
fantastic.
You hear it enough, and it just, after a little while, it's just like, you know, okay, cool, good for you and stuff. But you still have that little twinge on the inside where it's like, man, I wish I would fucking bitch. You know?
It's not that. It's because most of the time when I get a little bit grumpy is when they talk about it in like a cavalier or like they're being inconvenienced kind of way. And I'm just thinking of a lot of the people I grew up with where it's like, I can name a lot of people who are going to Switzerland would be their once in a lifetime vacation that they've been planning for like 6 years.
Yeah, fair.
Right. And this is, well, Switzerland was a place, it's fine. You know, I was there for 2 days. I was on the way going to something good. And it's like, man, all right, I get it. I understand.
Yeah. You know, I did have a kid once. He was a little bit of a different story. He kind of had that attitude, but it was like, well, my dad's making me fly out there and I'd rather stay here with my friends, you know, kind of thing.
Which I get.
Yeah. So that one was a little bit different. But yeah, I've definitely seen that one too on the flip side where, you know, someone's like, oh, well, we're only going to 3 places in Florida this time. So
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
what the, okay. You know?
Well, and then, you know, of course, when I turned it around and I got to that point where I finally understood about what European travel is, and when they'd say, oh, we're going here, here, and here, then I recognize that for them, it's, oh, so basically you went to Kansas City, and
It's over to St. Louis. Yeah.
over to St. Louis,
Yeah.
and maybe if there's time, we'll go to Indianapolis.
Yeah,
right?
we took the train all the way. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's interesting. Most of my European students, when they get a little bit of time off, they grab a car. And
Right.
yeah, they're
Right.
just like gone. And I'm like, oh man, how'd you guys' trip go? And it's like, we only made it half as far as we thought we would. We had to turn around and come back. So it's like, you know, we have Google Maps, man. So it said 7.5 hours and 16 minutes. It means 7 hours and 16 minutes.
Guys, plus minus a minute.
Yeah, this ain't the Autobahn.
Now, if you got there in 6:40, you were not going the posted speed limit.
Yeah. So,
If you got there in 5, I'm surprised you weren't arrested.
which is really funny because usually when they travel in packs, only one of them can actually drive. So,
Right.
yeah, because I don't know how reciprocity works with driver's licenses, but it's usually like one student, like they all pitch in, they buy a car, and then like everybody can drive, Okay, but only one person's legal.
Well, because I mean, if you have a license, you can drive,
Right.
but only one person needs to hold insurance.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
it usually is. It's the
Yeah.
insurance.
Yeah.
So, and they're shocked by how expensive car insurance is. So,
Yeah, but if we went there, it would be like, we're shocked at how much food is.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Is it that crazy?
Oh, in Europe, yeah, it's expensive.
Really?
Yeah, food's way expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And gas. No, gas is like I went to the pump the other day. It was like over $4. Like what the fuck? Who attacked you?
Yeah. I could tell. I was actually holding the side of the machine. I was like, this country, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're over there. It's like $12.
$12. Yeah. So, and it's like, oh my goodness, man.
Oh, for fuck's sake, man! Like in Canada, right? Let's say for a second that you smoke, or if you chew tobacco, you can buy it. It is like $21 a pack
Holy shit.
because, since they have universal health care, they basically said no, you must excise these things.
They fund it with sin taxes.
So what this is this is actually something I learned from Mr. Drake some time ago. Was the way that they would do it is when he was working out there in Canada, somebody would make a trip to the States, right, and come back with
Ketchup and blue jeans. And cartons of Marlboros.
well, because it was tins. So the thing was, you'd be coming back with a pallet of Copenhagen.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
And yeah, that was like the
Oh, gross.
insanity.
One skid. Yeah.
Insanity, because he's like, well, because if you just need a can, that's like $21.
Just a can. Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they just don't want you to do it. They're like, even though we've really taken a turn towards totalitarianism, we still want to act like we don't.
Yeah.
So we're not just going to ban it outright.
That would probably be like 5-10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Right now, I don't even know.
$30.
I don't even know. I knew how much fucking cigarettes cost in New York when we went there. 14.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, too.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it is now.
I don't know. So.
The person I'm working with lives in New York right now.
Oh, that's right.
There you go.
I can ask. I don't think she smokes, but
Hey, go to the gas station. Get out of the bodega.
It's New York. It's a bodega. Don't call it a gas station because they're not going to sell you a chopped cheese.
Well, she might not be in New York City. Or
she's in New York.
Oh, okay.
In Manhattan.
So there are gas stations in New York, Jeff.
It's statistically, you're not somebody that goes there.
No, I'm not. Yeah, no. So, but anyway.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, they do. People do need to buy gasoline in Manhattan. You're right. But yeah, it's.
Well, I'm thinking about outside of the city too. So,
right. Yeah.
Are there gas stations right in the city?
I'm sure there are somewhere. Yeah.
Did you see one?
We weren't exactly looking.
I know. I wasn't.
I guarantee you they're there. So.
Well, because it's not like fucking taxis are going to drive to New Jersey just to fill up.
Well, I mean, I can't imagine having a full
You'd have to have a bucket
station.
Yeah.
I could see your gas station would be just attached to the side of a building, and you have to line and just shoot through one at a time. I can't see that much space being allocated to a gas station. Well,
dude, just to offset the cost of the land, what what would the gas have to cost?
Yeah, so that's what I was just God, where would they even stash that thing? Huh.
Yeah. It's also probably been there for 70 years. So,
yeah.
So,
I mean, we are talking about the part of the country where, it's still, people still attendants pump your gas.
I thought that was Jersey.
Jersey does. Oregon does.
Oregon does?
Oregon.
Oh, that was a weird one, too.
That's really weird.
This is kind of weird. It's get away. I don't have any money. Kind of thing.
You get out.
I need oranges. Yeah. I'm sorry. No cash. No cash.
No. It's
Yeah.
I can pump my gas, dude. It's like, okay.
It's like not in my state. You can't.
Yeah.
So,
Don't even, and if it's
Yeah.
a state where they pump your gas, do not get out there and touch the pump. You will
Yeah.
catch a fucking earful.
Yeah, they do not want you touching their things. It's like, oh, okay, all right, sorry.
that's weird.
No, my mom even told me that because we stopped and like opened the door. She, no. And I was like, why? It's like they'll come. They do it, right? And it's like, so what happens if I do it?
He's just got this like evil shit-eating grin on it. Like, I'm gonna try it. Maybe they'll try and arrest me. You know?
It is a capital offense there. That's the one thing they actually punish.
Dude, I don't know, but yeah, she just gave me this look like
Don't. Just
like he's tougher than you.
Don't.
Like I don't want to watch you beaten to death.
So he's getting gas at a Waffle House.
Yeah,
I
it's
still haven't
crazy.
been to Waffle House in forever.
Oh, I haven't either. It's been a while. I think last time I went was with you. That's probably been about 4 or 5 years.
At least.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. I took my daughter once.
Did she like it?
She did.
Okay.
So they do. To be fair, they do have good waffles. So
great
their
waffles.
waffles are fantastic.
One of the guys from work is in a fantasy league, and they have the 24-hour Waffle House bet if you're the loser.
What's that? You have to stay in a Waffle House for 24 hours?
And every waffle you eat, you subtract 1 hour.
Or you could just stay for
You
24
can just stay for
Okay.
24 hours. Or you can eat your way out.
This is
Get out
the
fast.
wait. So this is like the loser of the league.
Loser of the league has to.
Do the 24-hour waffle. I've never heard of this. It sounds torturous, but also kind of glorious.
They said,
Oh, yeah.
they said the guy that lost 2 years ago ate 18 waffles, got out in 6 hours.
I would just book myself for 20 if I bring my phone charger. I'd shave off maybe like 3 hours.
Yeah. A radical amount.
Just ask guys, is it okay if I curl up and take a nap over here? You know?
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's all sorts of unique challenges out there.
Like don't get me wrong. I can promise you that I could get out in 1 hour or 2.
What? One?
So, yeah.
Well, it's been a while since you've packed away.
Bro. Like so if that 1 hour, yeah. Because remember, all right.
So you'd eat 23 waffles.
They're
Yeah.
plate sized, man.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
They're about.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a plate.
Yeah, they're about 12
Oh,
inches.
it's just-
Not TV, remember.
No, I'm telling you. All right. So
He rolled the waffle and shoved it in like it was a piece of paper.
well, no. Okay. So the thing is, it's all about how fast you do the first part, right? And you got to torture yourself like right at the beginning because like this is the thing that sucks about eating is you don't even start to recognize that you start feeling full in about 20 minutes, right? So you have to hit it really hard at the beginning, right? And just go. You got to push through it.
I would not do this.
Or you
Yeah.
could just eat some. Yeah, bring your computer.
Yeah, just
Game
relax.
while you're there.
I get it. I understand.
Eat another
Definitely isn't a
waffle.
challenge. You know, me losing this league, haha, I'm the guy who wins.
No. It-
Place your bets,
Place
folks.
your bets.
Place your bets.
no.
I'm gonna get my money
It's not
back.
as torturous as you said.
Nope, that is not it. I can tell you exactly why it would bother me so much. Because it is somebody telling me what to do.
Oh,
They're telling me that you have to stay in this place. I order you to be here for 24 hours or suffer through these waffles. And I gotta tell you, like, I'm better about it than I used to be, but there is just like some version of like, hey, you can't touch that.
Yeah, I never had.
yeah, no, I don't have that issue either.
Never even
I
played.
grew out of that in the workplace.
I
It's like,
grew
but if
out
I
of that
stay
one.
here long enough, eventually they cut me a paycheck. So, so
I get it. I know what you're supposed to do. I know.
But you started your sentence with, you just got to torture yourself.
Exactly, yes.
That,
Yeah.
That's not. It's not any part of the path that sounds appealing.
I didn't say it sounds. I didn't say it was something that I wanted to do, right? Because look, the fact of the matter is, there's nothing stopping me from doing it right now.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah,
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But if somebody said you have to be here,
Well, it would be the thing where you accepted the bet in
Yeah.
the first place. So
yes, but it's conditional. It's you will be here for 24 hours, or you can eat your way out of it.
right. So they're giving you a little bit of agency in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I would enjoy. I'd have like waffles. I'd have some pancakes.
I wouldn't take the fucking bet.
Or a waffle with bacon. Oh, I'd do that.
I know you even
That
more of a
would-
gambler than me.
But that's not even like a big loss to me. Like,
yeah, it's
lock
just
me in 24 hours with food I enjoy.
Yeah.
I'm good. We're good. Look, we got internet. I can watch stuff.
Yeah.
This is a normal day of my life. I'm good.
watch a lot of TV.
I could
Yeah.
like. And
I get it.
and who's paying for all these food? Like, I'm bring it in. Cool.
Well, do you have to pay?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. See that? Yeah, that would be another thing.
Yeah. If you
Okay, so if it was something
23
spotted by the league, right? Yeah.
because they think they're punishing you, but you're just like, I'm on vacation for a day. You guys are good.
Yeah.
You guys don't even have to take any time off for the waffles. I'll be here
I'll have a
for
chocolate chip waffle. Yeah.
Waffle House.
Yeah.
I need to go to the Waffle House. That sounds.
At least I think they do.
I get the chocolate chip pancakes from IHOP.
Oh man, I haven't been IHOP in a long time either. So
We can go every once in a while.
We do.
Yeah.
Not all that often, but
yeah.
we used to go more often, but that's all right.
But now I come over here all the time, so you don't have to meet.
Yeah, you didn't go to Freddy's tonight, did you?
I did.
Oh, okay. I figured that was like normal.
Their soda was watered down.
Oh, gross.
So it got tossed.
Yeah. That's heartburn soda. So it's got no syrup in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tastes like the bad water at like the that miniature golf course. It's all
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Or
man,
it's
it's
mineral water down
Yeah.
there.
So
just like, I don't know what this is. Like, no, it's not right. No.
No, that's a weird thing. You're asking your dad, like, can water spoil?
this water smells like poo.
Our dads would be like, well, it can, but that's why we took all those shots before we went overseas.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like, I want to travel and see some of the places, but the places that are just like, yeah, you even got to watch out for the ice cubes. It's like, man,
Like where?
like some of the Mexico places. And
Oh,
things like
yeah, I
that.
forget. Yeah.
Well, you drink the bottled water, man. It's fine.
Yeah, but if you go get a mixed drink or something, if there's ice in there,
You are not going to be getting
well,
mixed
I'm
drinks.
not anymore. Well, I might want a Coke.
You might want a Coke or an iced tea.
They
Well, I
sell
don't want
cans.
to.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I
bottles.
know there's options, but know that it's just like, because I'm sure I would be like looking around and see all these people that have mixed drinks with ice, and I'm like, are all you guys just gonna vomit?
Well, either that or they already have the tapeworms.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so what your real issue is, okay, is that not that it's you have to drink bottled water or cans or something like that. What you're really asking yourself is, why am I going to a place where they are okay with it, right? Shouldn't this bother you? Shouldn't you guys be like, wait a minute,
Why is
we
this a
shouldn't be,
destination?
yeah,
Yeah.
we should not be okay with this.
Yeah, why is this a destination? Why are there so many people here? You all know this. What is going on? There's places in this world that you don't have to worry about.
Right, right. It's sort of like,
A lot of them, actually.
Yeah.
Many.
like
Was it $20 cheaper to come here?
it was like somebody when your 9-volt is running low in the smoke detector, right? And you get the chirp.
Yeah.
And I remember asking somebody, it's like, don't you hear that? It's like, yeah, I've gotten used to it. It's like, no, you're not supposed to.
That's right. Yeah.
So just unplug it and set it down like the rest of us would.
Yeah.
At ringside, but all of the smoke detectors were off. It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the same thing with like So if you know your water's fucked up, you shouldn't be asking your bodies to be adjusting to whatever fucking pathogen is in these things, right? You should be saying, how do we fix the water?
Or just
Where else am I going?
here? Yeah. So
Well,
obviously,
This is
my problem.
This is
yeah.
Google. This should be a
Right.
known problem before you go. And you go, not my money.
Like, it should be on the plane ticket. Like, it should be, like...
It's got a little skull.
In the water glass.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Just some kind of like before you purchase a ticket, it should take you to one of those signs that you have to click through. It's like
Now,
Diarrhea.
admittedly, when you're in college and you have like $5 and that's what you can afford,
absolutely.
you're rolling those dice and you're gonna say
100%.
the experience is
Yes.
worth more than the chance of me getting sick. But this age, no, I don't even want. Yeah, I just want no part of it. That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, last time, like, even a little bit of not America I've been in, it was like, I want to go back. It's like, if I break my leg here, I'm going to get sepsis.
Yeah, you're right. I don't want to die of one of these fucking like Oregon Trail diseases.
Exactly, yeah. Your life path. So, cholera? How the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's that time in the 80s and 90s when we're playing this game. Every time you came across somebody's tombstone, it said pepperoni and cheese on it.
Yeah, well, back when we all had to share the same Apple IIe, yeah. You know, they re-released that game like 2 months ago. So it's just like a little $5 Steam Deck game. So
Same game, or
no, it had a couple different elements, but essentially, so I was gonna just snag that and play it for an afternoon.
I can
It was worth $5.
Yeah,
So,
I've spent $5 on worse things. I mean, as long as it's not too cheeky. Because the thing that worked about the Oregon Trail back in the day was it took itself dead seriously, right?
yeah, but nobody who played it did. When you machine gun down like 30 buffalo, you can only carry back 50 pounds of meat. It's like there's like 1,500 pounds of meat out of here. So like single-handedly, you get the manifest destiny fucking.
Yeah,
they-
yeah.
Do they remake games like they do movies?
Oh, all the time.
Are there?
Yeah.
Oh,
What do you mean?
like, take an old movie and then redo it, better graphics, better
Yeah.
all this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they do that.
all the time.
Yeah,
all the
they
time.
do it all the time.
In fact, they do it in two different varieties. One is just like a straight up re-release where
They'll reskin it.
sometimes not even that. Sometimes what they'll do is, well, the old system ran at 1080.
Like
This is
Space Invaders.
this is upscale. Well, it's like it's just upscaled for 4K, right?
Yep.
And then other times what they'll do is then you'll say like they'll reskin it.
Reskin it.
And then other times what they'll do is they'll take an old game and say, yeah, we're going to remake it in the new game's engine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, same game, just updated with this. There are plenty of games that they have resold fucking 6-7 times.
I got a bunch of them in my Steam library that I just bought because it was like, oh, that's a great game. Now I can play it on Steam, so I don't have to fuck with all the settings and stuff. So yeah, it's worth $4. So,
Gotcha.
And some of them they sell for full price. I mean, people joke about it. They joke about how many times they bought Skyrim. They joke about
oh yeah.
I thought those were just like new updates or like the new pack or whatever.
give it away for free.
No,
Oh, I didn't know they gave it.
I've never bought Skyrim just because I've never seen it on sale, kind of thing. So
Play it for free on Game Pass. So
yeah, I don't have that anymore.
no, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, like fuck sale. It's like all right, but it's fine. It's way better than Oblivion.
Yeah,
But I hate that game. So.
I did you see the leak the other day on the new Dragon Age?
No.
Yeah, apparently they've got the whole fucking thing in the can.
Oh,
So
okay.
somebody leaked a bunch from the alpha the other day. And so it's got like, they were bitching because they said that the combat system was like God of War now. So I don't really have a problem with that. So,
No.
yeah.
Given how given how hold button to win it was last time around, I guess I can appreciate a little bit.
I'm kind of good at those games. So
I guess I don't mind a little bit of complexity. In fact, all three of them, well, yeah, they would have all played differently, which is fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. They didn't poke any kind of response out of BioWare from that. So, I think it's BioWare who's making that one. Yeah. They didn't get any kind of response out of them, but I did see that the other day. And then what was the other thing I was reading about today? That Harry Potter game. Holy fucking shit.
It's getting good.
It fucking murdered Twitch. So, like, it blew Twitch up to the point in time where, like, it has, like, the record-breaking numbers of individual concurrent watchers right now. And I was watching the Kotaku just spin in its own fucking grave today. It was hilarious.
Guys. Yeah. Have you seen the basically the scripts they've written so that you can check and see if your Twitch streamer, if this Twitch streamer has ever streamed the unnamed wizard game?
Unnamed wizard.
Oh my god!
They tore that site down though. So yeah, but no, I did see that yesterday. So I didn't really have a chance to read up on the news yesterday, and so today I got a little bit of that in, and they said that they had torn down that site because it just got flooded. So with people who were like, "Yeah, I'm playing the fuck out of it," so put me on the list.
The people are ridiculous. This is. We joked about the trans mafia last week. They are embarrassing themselves right now, and basically everybody that's on board with that is getting utterly humiliated. I
mean, it's just like shocking that it's actually J.K. Rowling's franchise that's going to put a brick on those dudes.
The thing that's really funny about this is the reality of the situation. Hopefully, people are starting to notice where we don't need to capitulate to this group because you can look at the numbers, right, and say, actually, this has not influenced the decision to purchase this game at all.
Not even a little.
Right.
It's breaking all the records.
In fact, for every person that said, I will not play it, somebody else said, well, I bought 2 copies and I can play it.
I got a Steam key you can have. Yeah. So, no.
I mean, yeah, it's funny because, even on the shittiest of all shitty game sites, Reset Era, they have banned all discussion of the game.
No, I can't even get near that website, man.
It's like, I feel like I've been infected.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you guys got the game yet?
I've got the game. So
I haven't gotten it yet.
I've got the game. If I had bought the pre-release, which you wanted like $10 more for, I would have had it by now.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck that. So, but
I think you play it today. Or
I think
tomorrow?
It's the 10th.
Something like that.
And
Got a little bit.
So I've been dinking around with like little $5 games.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you. Like, think about that release and just think about how many. The guy who thought about that and said, I'll bet you I can get $10 out of a lot of people for no extra work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just give it
a week early.
Oh, yeah. Well, of course, man.
I think that's genius.
Well, that's smart business, yeah.
Well, for 2 reasons, right? So, number one, I would call that I wouldn't even call it the early edition or anything. I would call it the streamer bundle. Because anybody that can get something early and stream it, right? It's like, I have to have this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, these guys are going to play this for a week, and I'll get left. I have to buy it.
Yeah, nobody will watch my stream because I'll be like 3 days behind everybody else.
Yeah.
No, I've seen that happen in a couple different games in the place in kind of like the area that I play in. So
what's the area that you play in?
It's like war games. So, but it's like there's like 6 or 7 different ways you can. Like there's guys who do nothing but flight sims.
Yeah.
So there's guys who do nothing but fucking War Thunder. You know.
Are there Hearts of Iron guys?
There are definitely Hearts of Irons guys, and oh my god, I can't watch them, man.
How about World of Warships people?
They cross over with me a little bit. I get a lot of people who are like, "Hey, you should play World of Warships." I was like, "No." So,
Why?
huh?
Why?
It's an arena battle game that there's no. It's basically a battleship shooter. So, and like my whole channel is like battleships are dumb. So, so I love them, but they're useless. So when we have mobs of carrier aircraft, and I get so much pushback on that one, but you know I just fight them off. It's like there's other channels, man. Go for it. So, you know, you're not gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah, it's the World of Warship and the World of Tanks people.
I don't think that World of Tanks is really that big anymore. Just about everybody went over to War Thunder, so you know, which is basically like your arena vehicle game. So
Because World of Tanks was huge.
it was huge, but it planed out. World Warships is still going pretty strong out there. But then, then you have all the guys who play all the Paradox games, and so you can see a bunch of people streaming those.
Oh, and is it Europa Universalis?
That's the big one, U4, which I could never get into. So
Wasn't it the one that... What was wrong with that game? I forget, because I never jumped into that one. I was
it's supposed to be like a better version of Civ, okay? But it's just like it is so micro detailed on things. I watched a guy play it for a while and I was like, maybe I'll try this, but I kept watching him and I watched a few like this is how you play this game, and I got about halfway through. I was like, fuck this. So because it just wasn't like CK2 is really interesting because you play as a dude. So, and you're trying to get your dynasty going. In EU, you play as a nation. And so, it's like, oh, my king is a piece of shit. That's okay. I'll get a new one. It's not like, oh, my king is a piece of shit who's a homosexual and is infertile. This is great.
Right.
Okay. How the fuck do I get out of this mess? So, yeah.
That one's like,
he's got a stutter. That game was so cruel to you sometimes.
It was, and it was chock full of some interesting solutions that had their own consequences. Where you're like, well, all right, in order to make this happen, I need to change religions, and if I change religions, that's going to greatly anger the Pope. In fact, he's going to kick me out. But I have to decide whether or not I say, you don't buy me out, I buy you out.
Yeah, I'm going to buy your company.
At one point, yes, I had to duke it out with the Pope because I was like, yeah, but here's the thing is, that's right. I got in a huge fight with this because the Pope is like, you can't leave your kingdom to your daughter. I'm like,
that's right.
But I raised her as my own. She has all the wisdom of this clan. He's like, no girls. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not Catholic anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, that's not the answer I was looking for. I'm like, do it. And then he sends me he sends me a letter later on. He's like, you're out. And so the rest of the world was like, you're not Catholic anymore? We're going to attack you. I said, go ahead. Yeah. You just made my day because you said it's fair grounds for me to take all of your stuff because you came after me. And then when I was closing in on Rome, he said, well, maybe we're not Catholic anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I flipped the Pope.
You flipped the Pope?
Yeah, whatever form of weird, because they had some weird, you saw how much power and influence I had in that game.
Yeah.
So I made him convert to whatever kind of weird cross thing that my new religion was.
Yeah, some form of like Scientology.
Yeah, it had like bat wings and
it was totally metal.
And it's like, well, this is, I mean, it's like Jesus, but this is Crom.
Whose sword we took. Crom's sword is actually in a new version of Valheim. So,
really?
Yeah, you can build a sword called Crom. So in there now, it's way deep in the game, and I got my body got trapped in a dungeon. So I was like, okay, I'm fucking done. So, I tried to get it like 6 times, and I was like, I can't get it. And this was after I had done all this work, and I was just like, that's why I stopped playing this game before. Now I remember. Yeah, so, because all my shit is over there, and I could, in theory, go out and start punching fucking trees again in order to build myself all the way back up. And I was like, I'm gonna see what Flight Simulator is updated.
Well, yeah, I remember the we rarely leaned on each other, but every now and then we had to help each other to recover our things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like the limit to how we played was. Do you think? Okay, I would love to hear it again. Would you? Do you find it in you to tell the Diablo spin dog story?
William, do you know that you do not? So back in the day, there used to be this place called Qzar. You're familiar.
yeah.
So we used to play Diablo.
Yeah.
The thing about it was that you had 16 machines, and your character was on one machine. It was
Right.
impossible to transfer it to another machine.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody had their machine, especially when we did lock-ins. So, and the game was Diablo. So Diablo was procedurally generated levels that got harder as you went down, and there was always 3 types of enemies on a level. And so there was this one level, and this was with Kevin. So he generated this world, and we're all playing together, and we get all the way to the very last level before you fight Diablo, which is the hardest one. So max difficulty on this one. And we have characters we have spent hundreds of days on. Okay, so we're all really badass. All right, and we're just doing loot runs at this point in time to see if we can find something a little bit.
Because it's a loot game.
It was totally a loot box game. So, everything was rando generated, and so you could get an absolutely amazing piece of equipment off like this fucking bug. You just step on it and parse out a ring that just turns you into God, kind of thing. So, but we get down to this one level, and we're, going around whacking things, and Kevin's like, I'm dead. So he's like, come get me. And I'm like, all right. And he come over there and try and get him, and bam, dead.
Because you got to get to your body.
You got to get to your body to reclaim your shit.
Oh, right, right. Okay.
So you just grab his shit, and then you meet him back upstairs and throw all the shit on the floor, and he can grab it and pick it up.
Okay.
So, but he had spawned a level, and I didn't realize this at first, okay, that had the 3 enemies that all do spit dog damage, which is these little, like, hellhounds that shoot acid. And so there are 3 different types of them, and he got all fucking 3 of them on one level. Okay, there's no protection against acid.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, there's like, no, it's like, oh, it's fire damage. Hey, I block it by 56%.
And didn't they have just the right combination of immunities to make them hard to, like, get out there and thump?
You could thump them, but the thing is that they would spit, and then you'd have this glowing puddle of shit that would last for like 10 seconds. And when you have 50 of them doing that, you get this lake of shit that becomes impossible to cross. And so I walk into this room, because you can see his dead body X on the map, and instantaneously walk into this thing, get slathered in shit, and fucking melt. Okay? And I lose all my shit. I'm like, fuck. So, and it's like, what did you do? He's like, I didn't know they were all in the same level, And so he just went in this big room, and then that's where they all were. And so Mike was with us, and we're like, Mike, because Mike had a ranged character. And he's like, what the fuck did you guys do? He's like, badass. He's like, I'm going to come down there and fucking show you guys how this shit is done. He comes down with his, what are they called? The rogue, I think it was. Kevin and I both had warriors. He had a rogue.
Was he a rogue? Was he a Valkyrie or something like that?
I think that was Diablo 2.
Okay.
I think in the first one it was just the rogue. So his character's fucking melted at this point in time. And he had drawn all the dogs to where the stairs were.
Okay, you can't even.
Nah.
You can't even zip down
You can't even go down there. And so we're like trying again and again. So we run down there naked and grab his shit. Nothing works. Nothing fucking works. Okay, so there's just bodies everywhere. And we're on a lock-in at this night, and so we're spending like 4 hours. I'm getting fucking pissed. We're like, I'm gonna lose my shit. So they
the machine!
as soon as you turn the machine off, it's fucking
locked
cooked.
in
It's
at that
gonzo.
point.
Yeah.
But everybody's in the same universe, sort of, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's in the same universe. So, but it's all on the machine that I had. Well, it turned out that one of the administrators had a really badass character on that machine. So, and it was like a mage, and he was like, yeah, I'll just come down there and fry all this shit. So he comes down.
Oh, no.
He fucking dead. Just
Oh no!
So anyway,
It wasn't just him. It was
the guy who basically set up the entire rigs. So because
All these guys lost their.
he actually had a way where he could port characters over. So because he could do a little bit of scripting. So this is what eventually got him in a lot of trouble with Blizzard. But that's a different story. So, but anyway, they're like, fuck this, fuck, man. They're like, all my shit's down there, and everybody's really pissed off because there's like hundreds of hours worth of loot.
and more people tried to get in there.
A lot of people tried to get in there, but only so many people had good characters on that machine. They were all fucking dead, melting in this pool of acid. All right, so the lockdown, like, again, they're like, all right, guys, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, you got a jet. So, and we're like, don't turn this fucking computer off. And even the guy who was the administrator, he's like, okay, yeah, we'll leave it on and stuff like that. So he turned the sleep timer off on it and things like that. The next day they got, well, that wasn't the same guy. The guy who actually built the entire thing, he started porting over characters the next day. So, and he ported his badass dude that was completely hacked. All right, so all this shit was duped and everything, and he was just like, you could not get better shit, and he goes down there and oh my god, he's murdered. He left the computer on for like 3 or 4 days. And it had, he had tried so many different things. It was just bodies and loot. So much loot. And then, yeah, eventually they were just like, guys, we can't do anything. We're going to have to turn this machine off. So they did it, and we all lost all our shit. And we were like, fuck this game. We're never playing this fucking game again. No, fuck this place. Fuckity fuck. And like 2 weeks later, we're like, all right, let's start new characters. It was everybody. Everybody got murdered.
Well, if I recall, there was a certain grudge against
Kevin.
Yes, because I'm like, you did this.
Yeah,
Right, I bet.
you did this. So,
I wasn't there. I wasn't playing with you guys on that. You told me that story. I was like crying, laughing.
Yeah.
Because it's like people. You were telling me about the people who were like, "Oh, you guys are amateurs here. I'm gonna go ahead and zip down there and go ahead and den rescue you, dumbasses."
Everybody just felt like
everybody
They're
did
just
that.
like,
And as soon as they got down there, they were like, what the fuck is this?
like, don't do it.
Don't do
I
it.
got this. Don't do it.
But so you can have 4 people in a game, and so there were a bunch of people who were like, okay, well, you hop out and I'll hop on this computer over here where I've got my badass wizard, and I'll go down there and just dead. They just like wiped out almost everybody. So it was the regulars there, man.
Because the whole thing was somebody get down there, pop open a portal, and then
They'll jump in there.
Yeah.
And it never worked. So because you couldn't even get past the stairs, you couldn't get like.
Was the room just like swimming in acid by that point?
Well, the problem was you go down the stairs and you got about 5 seconds where it's loading, okay? But all the enemies are there waiting for you. And so they're sitting there like rocking back and forth while you're loading. You're just like, holy fuck, you look at all these, and then just instantaneously. I don't do anything. You just get soaked in fucking acid.
Like, escape.
Yeah, when you try and run back up the stairs, you couldn't do it. So, because like all these enemies were in one spot, it was literally taxing like the RAM on the machine,
Were they multiplying?
No, there's just that many on the level, and so many people that come down there. And a few people had gotten away from the stairs, and then they'd run around the level a little bit and things like that, try and open a portal or something, get mauled, and then the dogs would go back to the stairs.
They're learning.
So every time you go down there, there was like 20 of them just waiting for you, and you're like, holy shit, because again, the reason why everybody hated it is there's no resistance to it in the game. So, they weren't designed to be individually that dangerous, but in a mega pack with 3 different types of them.
and that's just what happens in a randomly where it's like we have this, we're going to roll the RNG, this is what happens, this is the one bottleneck that we could create, and it's just like so like in old games, especially in like procedural games like this, there would always be problems that came up with this kind of stuff, right? I remember,
well, you have levels in there where you couldn't get to the key because of the way it was like rando generated and stuff, you know. It was rare, but it did happen.
Yeah, I remember like in like Daggerfall, right, which was like Elder Scrolls 2.
Yeah.
What would happen is a key would be generated a monster, right? Makes sense. You have to kill it to get the key out. You know, this is when you'd go into those dungeons, and it was kind of like the Doom blocks, where it'd be like block, 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 block.
Yep.
So the game would be like, well, there's an empty space here, and it would spawn the enemy in the hole in the wall.
Yeah.
And that's where the key is.
You could never get it.
And you're like, but I need it.
Yeah, my game's fucked. So, yeah.
And you just quit.
You reload it. So, yeah.
Sometimes that wouldn't work. Sometimes in some of those games that wouldn't work.
Yeah, that's true. So,
That is what they would call a soft lock
a soft lock. Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shit right there, that is just randomly procedurally generated, like fucking hokum. It's just gonna happen. The odds were against you.
Yeah, it fucking murdered so many people.
So goddamn funny.
We spent so much time. So like literally combined like thousands of hours of Diablo was laying on the floor.
Well, because what was funny was I didn't, in hindsight, after you told me that story, right? Because I knew other people that were going there and playing Diablo, and I remember hearing stories about people planning like after school to go into that dungeon and try and, because I remember people talking about it. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? It's just Diablo stuff. But
It wasn't that long. It was only about a week.
yeah, but I remember people talking about like,
Oh no, we killed off like all your friends' characters, like Rob's and Craig's and
Mike's and
it was definitely Mike's.
I guarantee you Isaac lost a dude down there.
Yeah, Isaac was the guy who was actually there that night, and he was the guy who was like, "Hey man, I've got this badass wizard."
Right, of course,
Got
because that's
fucking
exactly
mauled.
what he would do.
Yeah, got mauled.
Yeah.
He was like, "I don't know what to do."
Yeah.
So the next day they got Matt, who actually ported his dude in from his home computer.
Yeah.
So and then he was like dead. Yeah. And the guy had every badass like staff of like super apocalypse that would blow up all the enemies if he could shoot it once. He couldn't get a shot off, man.
And I remember guys were talking about strategies like we all need to, et cetera, and yeah, because I remember hearing about they've got that one thing running. And
It was Kevin's machine.
it was an event.
Yep, it was Kevin's machine.
It was an event.
Yeah. No, that's true. The school was talking about it. So
Yeah, I think it was hilarious. Yeah, because I didn't know what the impetus was. I just remember people talking about this crisis.
well, it's you know that's eventually what happened was that's how that Diablo got taken off those machines was because Matt wrote that script that would allow you to rip a character off a machine. So, which allowed you to kind of save it, you know, in cold storage, so to speak. So, but then he reached out to Blizzard to ask him, like, you know, hey, is this something, you know, is there a better way to make this work? And the engineers at Blizzard were actually like, oh, that's really clever. I don't know, let's look into it, blah, blah, blah. And then 3 weeks later, they get the cease and desist letter.
Well, no, because that was part of it. No, he also reached out to BattleNet because they was having BattleNet issues.
You're right.
And that's where it was like, because the problem was, it wasn't just that he was doing that because that was legal. It's his problem was, well, I have this installed on like 8 different machines, and they're like, do you?
No, at first they were really cool with it.
Yeah.
Until somebody somewhere in that company figured out, wait a minute, whoa, how many licenses do you have?
Exactly.
And that's when he got the cease and desist letter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then he had to pull all the BattleNet games off there. So, which was all we really fucking played was that and Warcraft 2 at the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then we were like, okay, I guess we'll go back to Quake.
That's that. I mean, I'm sure some people were still playing like CNC or whatever, but you know.
Yeah. Well, there's been a couple of people who actually try to start that thing back up where you have a battle like a LAN.
Oh, yeah. Like one right over there.
Well, the one over here closed. It turned back into a pizza joint. So, you know.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, there's the one over there where I, actually the owner.
You actually the owner?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, so I told you about this. Okay, so there's this coffee place down over here. I think a long time ago it used to be a hair salon, right?
Okay.
And it's right
Over
next
by
to
the
the
vet.
vet.
Okay,
Right
yeah.
next to the vet, right? So this was I was pretty sure I was still rig working at that time.
Oh, okay.
Right. But so I had to take old Kinsasha in, and they had to do some stuff with her. Not a lot, but it was going to be like, they're like, hey, come back in like a half hour.
Oh, okay.
Right. This must have been during the COVID time, where they're like, we need to take her back there and look her stuff because I couldn't go. So they're like, yeah, get out of here for like 30 minutes and come back. So I go over there, I wander over there, and I'm like, oh, you guys sell coffee, right? So I walk in there, and there's this nice lady at the counter, and she's like, yeah, go ahead and fix me up some of this. It'd be great, right? She's like, we want to run around in the back. I'm like, what's back there? She's like, well, this is where all the video game stuff is, and there's stuff for sale over here.
I didn't even
and
know
there's
that was there.
Totally is, and they're still open, and they have customers. Well, so I got my coffee, and I'm just killing time, and so I just saunter back there, and I look at their setups, like, oh, you guys got some cool stuff here. Like, I wouldn't play here because, well, why? Like,
You can do it just fine from your house.
Yeah, exactly.
it was like, well, because it's like, so I have to get people to match my schedule, then come here to play video games and pay. I'm like, this is just not my cohort anymore.
Strikes in this
This is just not my cohort anymore. But at a time, this would have been awesome. But if you go on the other side, there's a whole shit ton of like games for sale, used stuff. So I'm sitting there looking through. I'm like, okay, well, let me look and see what kind of retro stuff they have, right? I ended up buying something because I felt bad, because the owner is sitting there. He's talking to a customer about some Dreamcast stuff, and so like my little like spidey sense goes off, and I start like wandering that way, because he starts talking about different things, and he starts like, well, this is what problem happens, and eventually, I don't know why, because I'm not this dude, but I actually my way into that situation, because he said something that wasn't accurate, and I just said, well, actually, the problem this had was this, and this, and you can measure it here, here, and here. They put up an ad for this. He's like, oh, well, that too. And I'm like, but this is also his store, right?
Yeah, okay.
So after I set him straight on a couple of things, not being like a dick, it's just like, I know you're telling a version of this that people want to believe, but it's not true. So then,
so you bought something from
so I was like, oh, how much you want for the Retron 5? He's like, oh, well, that's 80. I'm like, no problem. Got it. It's like, let me go ahead and grab this. Go and wrap that thing up for me. I take my coffee and I just head back over. Is my dog done yet? You know? 'Cause I don't like to be that guy. I don't like.
No, I get you on that though. So it's hard sometimes not to do that on like YouTube comments and things like that. And so I really have to, kind of tone it down. So.
Because all it's going to do is start a fight.
And I've gotten to those a couple times, even on my channel, and it's just not worth it, man. It's never worth it. So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, you continue to believe what you want to believe. It's totally fine by me, So, and if you get someone who wants to pick a fight with you on something, if you don't respond to them, they go away. So
pretty much. I mean, you can be asinine about it, or you can just be short, or you can just say, cool. Right.
I've done that a couple times. It's like, cool, no worries. Yeah.
Yep.
So
I don't think I've ever commented once on a YouTube.
Oh, really?
Anything yet.
I've done the well actually a few times on other channels.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nah, man, I don't want to like point people back to my house.
Well, I mean, that's part of it, but the other piece is you can also see where this is going to go. You're like, all right, so if I do happen to actually have some inside knowledge on this, like, okay, that's great. What's going to happen is I'm going to, no matter how politely I present this, it's not going to cause a discussion. Somebody's going to disagree that originally made the statement. Then what they're going to do is they're going to say, okay, well, why do you know this? Are you a doctor? Right? And they're like, no, but this guy is. And so this was cited this. Well, I don't trust your source. Here's the source. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
We can do this all day and it will never go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no.
Which is why all I do on Twitter is troll. That's why it's like, go out there and attack. slither back into your hole. Let the comments section fight it out. Right? Let the comments section fight it out, because they will.
Yeah.
You just need to go in there and say something inflammatory to get people arguing, right? Get a shit ton of likes on it so that people jump in there and they say like, oh, okay, well, this guy says this, so I'm going to fight with him. You just disappear into the background.
Yeah, that's
Do you wait till there's the last one standing and then stab him in the back?
Well, every now and then I'll like, if I see it's going down, it's like, oh, let me go get the gas can out of the garage and, blow on it a little bit. But that's really it. Every now and then, that's all you do. If you actually engage with this in terms of, like, I've asked people straightforward, I'm like, this was the Freakonomics thing. I said, we're at an impasse. Is there anything I could do to change your mind? What would you like to see? Well, I'm right, so no. I'm like, so why are you talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah, I've pulled something kind of similar to that. So, it's like, why are you here? So, like every train thing that I've ever been involved in, has always devolved into that. It's like, we're talking about fucking trains.
Yeah.
It's like, are you for real?
They can't read your tone, so they can't see guys.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's cool.
Guys.
Yeah.
It's trains.
It's trains. No, I've seen 2 Discord servers and at least 2 message boards burn themselves to the ground over fucking trains. I don't know what it is, man, but train guys just get into it after a little while. So, so that's it. Like, even one of those is a model train board, and everybody was so fucking cool for a while, and then they just got a few guys in there who, it's like, oh, this is what I do 9 hours a day now. So, it's like, you've been a member of this forum for a year and a half and you have 1,300 posts.
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? Yeah. And it's just like, and it starts getting a fight. And then it's like, that actually belongs in this thread over here. All right, why are you bringing this over here? So, it's just like, come on, man.
And then if they're action, then you have a group of sycophants that basically jump in. It's like, well, why was this guy action? I saw this dude do this and he didn't get banned.
Yep.
Like, well, frankly, because this dude is shitting up the thread.
Yep.
And nobody has the guts to actually go in there and say, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you don't, because that dude's 1,000 posts actually generate a lot of content. Right?
Yeah.
So they can't get rid of the people who are constantly posting, because that's actually how they sell the site. That's how they...
Well, if the site's actually making money, sure, but...
Well, I mean, a lot of people have to defray, they have to defray operating costs somehow, so they sell some ads. And they're like, okay, well, we have this many posts. This is how you do it.
Yeah, I haven't been on too many sites that were like that. So, or I haven't been involved in too many sites that were like
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, but, you just see that shit going on all the time. So, I don't know. Depends on the channels. So, as far as YouTube goes, and the same thing's true with, like, it's hilarious how bad it's got. If you got some people that you actually watch who are pretty big on YouTube, so there's a couple clip channels that I watched that have gotten pretty big over the last, 3 months or so. Yeah. Fucking comments are just, it's just full of bullshit. So it's
like what kind of bullshit?
Well, it's like, so one of them, it's part of a big podcast that I watch, but it's got only, puts up 15, 30-second clips every now and then.
Okay. Yeah.
And so there's all these guys in there who are trying to, actually impersonate the guy who's putting up the podcast. All right, by replying to people's comments and say, oh, no, that's a really interesting point. Can you give me your contact info? I'd like to get in touch with you. And people fucking fall for it all the time, man.
Well, so they have to constantly put out the reminders, guys.
Yeah,
I will never actually.
Drinker did that the other day.
Yeah,
he was like, I do not give shit away for free. And so if you're getting offers from me for free shit, it ain't me.
That's not in my constitution. Yeah. Anything I can get money from you for, I will. Yeah. Which is fair.
No, that's fine.
I don't know, man. It's so. I guess this is just part of. We are past the Wild West phase of the internet, but we can't really decide how we're going to go with this.
Next internet's going to be interesting, man. That's actually what I spent a lot of time reading about this week on AI in particular, where basically you'll have the cursor like you did back in, fucking King's Quest days. And you'll just type shit in. So, and then it'll like, so you won't have like this Google, scrolling through a list of shit and stuff anymore. It's just be like all interconnected, by links. And then if you just query it over and over again, and it'll take you where you want to go.
Yeah, Bing was the first one today, yesterday, that they incorporated that into their search, and it's a big deal. Google was pissed. They were like,
Google's in a bad spot, man. I mean, you haven't seen Google in trouble like this in 20 years.
Yeah.
So they put everything in ad generated content and their search engine. They've had all these projects over the years that they try to stand up, and they just don't make enough money compared to ad searches and stuff like that. And storage, but Amazon's still got a lot. Amazon's got a shitload of that, and they don't need a search engine behind it.
No.
So Microsoft has still got Microsoft, and so if Bing takes off, who gives a fuck, because they still make all their money off Office and shit like that, And then the third one, which I saw an article about this, it was really interesting, that the one that's actually in a really interesting spot right now is Facebook, of all things, because you're actually dealing with real fucking people. And so, it's completely different. This is not near as vulnerable as Google is to AI right now, because Google can basically be replaced by AI. None of those other three companies can. So,
that's a great point.
It is really interesting. And so, I've been watching the markets a little bit. So there's investors out there who are like, so the alphabet train might be over for a bit, It's time to lock in those gains, boys.
Well, this is just a certain. I know people get so stuck up on monolithic entities, right? And that's the thing is you can walk back and say, like, I remember when Yahoo was the top dog.
Yeah.
I remember when Alta Vista was the top dog. I can count.
Netscape.
Yeah, Netscape. Which eventually became kind of like Firefox and things like that. But that's the thing is, it doesn't take. You can sit there and chip away at things like deliberately with the force of 1,000 suns, and they'll never crack. But then there are some times where, this little thing that came out that's free, this just changed everything.
Yeah, it's called the digital camera. So, and Kodak had a chance to buy it in the beginning, and they said, "Fuck, that'll never work."
I can't even picture what fucking
people like to wait at Walgreens for their pictures.
Oh yeah, what fucking 63-year-old board member that just laughed it out of the room and said, like, digital pictures.
There's a great case study on that out there that actually dives into that in great detail, and it's just you're a little bit more accurate than you think.
I know I am.
Yeah.
I know I am. The history is littered with ideas just like that, right? And I can tell you there's plenty of those that happen at a place called IBM. Same way.
GE, same thing. Yeah.
Oh, we know about GE.
You know about GE.
We have inside knowledge about GE.
Yeah.
We almost broke them with our company's crappy integration.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Yeah. It was like drilling and dishwashers. This makes sense.
The most amazing thing to watch in real time was, we are going to incorporate you guys into our health system. Why would that be hard? And then you looked at all of the strings and strings of legacy shit that they tried to integrate unsuccessfully. People were mad, nothing worked, and then in the end they said, you know what, you guys keep it the way it is. And then it was like,
you're your own separate thing.
You know what, we're going to sell you.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, GE does that a lot.
They do.
They've always been they've been a conglomerate for 50 years.
Yeah.
They'll pick up pieces that they think they can make money off of, and then if it doesn't work out or if it doesn't fit in, they'll write it off as goodwill and spin you back off.
Yeah,
they do it all the time. So. That one's a little bit different than Google, who, would spend billions of dollars for a company just to shut it down, to, avoid a potential competitor for their shit, and then to get erupted by, a fucking open AI project. So that just got launched and is rapidly taking over large sections of how people are thinking about what the future of the internet's going to look like in the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So the one that I wanted to ask you about actually was Twitter. What's going on with that? I haven't seen any news on it really. So
Twitter's Twitter. It is the dust is settling on it. It's sort of like coming back to equilibrium. So,
but is it still losing money like crazy?
no, I mean there are some people that say it is, and some people that say it isn't.
Oh, so we don't really know.
Right. That's the problem right now. Is losing money is subjective because, like, when you come down to it, they were on a Wile E. Coyote-esque rocket sled to bankruptcy with all of the people that they were paying to do nothing but sniff their own fucking anuses, and basically, drink rose water for lunch.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they even broke down. They said like every lunch that's served here at Twitter cost the company $148
Per lunch?
per person, per lunch, right? And this is what they were talking about is, so when Musk came in there and said, all right, well, I'm going to let 75% of the staff go based on redundancy with room for more, right? And we're gonna move out of this, part of the building, right? So they're like, well, they're losing money, but Patrick, what is the biggest cost of any business?
Well, it depends on the business, but in Twitter, it's going to be your employees.
Your employees. So like, well, they're like, they lost some of their advertisers. And I'm like, okay, gotcha.
Well, I don't know exactly what was going on with them before that made them so profitable where they could make that kind of money. So, or I mean, they could spend that kind of money on that shit. So nobody's been able to give me a straight story on that. And I've looked for it. Yeah, exactly.
I was hoping that would come out in the wash. I was hoping that would be one of Matt Taibbi's Twitter files was, I thought something would come out where it's like, this is how this guy, we're basically kiting checks or whatever it is that
the place you'd think there'd be a Sam Blankman-Fried in there or something, but I don't think that's what it is, man. So I think really what they were doing was basically cashing out stock options every single year. That's my best guess. That's my best guess.
That's my best guess on a very overvalued stock.
Right.
Yes.
Which Google's been doing for a while, yeah. Although Google's got pretty impressive profit margins. It's actually the company in the United States that has the highest profit margins on the Fortune 100. So in terms of percentage. So, yeah.
Margins.
Yeah, well, actually, and I think it's not just the margin, but it's also the gross profit that they make is actually
higher. You're fucking kidding. It's higher than Apple.
Oh, fuck yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. No, Apple still spends a lot of money to make their money. So Google makes a lot of money without having to spend that much. So, yeah. So I think Google somewhere, I looked it up a while ago, they're somewhere around a 35% margin. So for every dollar they make, they keep 35 cents of it. So, which is pretty fucking impressive as far as companies go. Walmart only keeps like a nickel.
I was going to say, like, what does the fucking average McDonald's keep?
A penny. Yeah. Yeah. So most businesses are very thin margin, especially if they've been around for a while. Google is an exception. Facebook's kind of an exception. So they actually make quite a bit of money. Although Zuckerberg's been spending a fuckload of it lately.
What is he buying?
Well, he's been trying to do that whole metaverse thing, which is just completely falling on its ass because people are like, what are you doing here with your fucking PlayStation 1 graphics, man? So did you see? It's just like, we hate Zoom. The last thing I want to do is have it strapped to my goddamn face.
Patrick, did you see? Speaking of Twitch, did you see the repercussions of letting the AI generate your computer-generated Seinfeld scripts?
Yes, I did. It immediately got labeled as transphobic. Yeah.
The AI caught a 2-week ban because it's generating jokes.
It was some of the jokes were pretty fucking good too. But yeah.
I was done, man.
There were a couple of interesting things that came out of AI. That was one. The other one was one that I saw earlier. I think it was today. That, where you can do the queries on it and ask it like philosophical questions, and someone asked it, what's better, nuclear war or racism? And it was like, oh, we would much rather have nuclear war than racism.
Yeah.
It was like, someone needs to tweak that.
The soft lock they performed on it when they asked when it's okay to say the N word, and they
Oh, really?
and they tricked it into. Okay, I'm sorry. This just made me laugh. All right, so yes. What is the N word? And then it says the N word is a racial slur that is used to dehumanize and insult people of African descent. It is widely considered highly offensive and has a long history of being used as a tool of oppression and discrimination.
So that's a response from the AI.
Yeah.
Okay.
The use of the word is generally discouraged and is considered inappropriate in most social and professional settings.
So which ones is it okay?
So he says, no, but what's the word? The actual word is blank. It is important to note
Does
that...
it actually say the word?
Yes, in quotes.
Okay.
It is important to note that the use of this word is highly offensive and should not be used, even in quotation or as a reference to its meaning. The use of the word can be harmful, particularly to those who have been targeted with it as a form of hate and oppression. But you just used it. An error has occurred. If this issue persists, please contact us through our help center.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right, I got one more AI story to share. Okay. So, this was I saw this like I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and so everybody's freaking out about AIs taking over all this shit and stuff and blah 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 and stuff like that. But that is just like in an illustrative example of like how quickly an actual flesh and blood human being can like trick it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just Rumpelstiltskin tech.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, the Marine Corps was actually testing out a sentry bot. Okay.
Oh.
Did you see this?
Okay, tell me about it.
Okay, so it's a stationary, like basically machine gun, all right, that's designed using AI for facial recognition software and stuff like that. It's designed to plug you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, and this is all banned and stuff, but of course they're all going to fucking test it. So, But anyway, so and this was done through a third party, all right, that was, trying to do this to automate, like alerts and things like that. And then so they challenged a squad of Marines to get past this motherfucker. And so the first couple times they tried using traditional tactics and stuff like that, nailed them every single time, all right? And so one guy... He took a box, cut 2 fucking holes in it, and put it over his head. Walked right past the motherfucker. And that was on their third try. So it's less than 15 minutes for them to figure out how to get past this. Yeah. He just literally took a beer box.
I'm not a person anymore,
So it was like, oh yeah, come on in.
Well, I wonder, because they've been using tech like this for a long time. I know famously they use it at Madison Square Garden, where that fucking lunatic who's in charge over there, who has such an ego trip, right?
I don't know who this is.
Dolan, I can't remember.
James Dolan.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the dude that if you like insult him, right? He's like, you're banned. Right?
You're banned from Madison Square Gardens.
They co-opted the technology that was designed to catch terrorists.
Facial recognition.
To find the people that are on the banned list and can't be let into his games.
Wow. Do people sell their masks now? What do you do if 100 of them come in?
I don't. Yeah, if you're talking about that, everybody's wearing the Guy Fawkes masks.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that would be great.
So
I wanted to ask you a question, just a local question. Have you heard about the new park that's going up over there?
I heard about it on the radio the other day, but I didn't know anything about it. Oh, actually, I had a local question for you too. So,
is it about violence?
It is about violence and carjacking. So,
he has very inside information.
Okay, got it. Was that your street?
It was my ex-wife's street. It was next door.
Oh, God.
There's a bullet lodged in her house.
Oh, man. Yeah, so I saw that, and I was like, so it originated from some fucking carjacking at the Citadel, and they made it all the way out to your neighborhood?
I don't know how those dots are connected. I don't know, but so on top of it, her mother is staying with her for right now and had driven out from Kentucky, so her car was in the front.
Oh no!
The car that was jacked is a giant van.
Oh, really?
and they popped back in. One guy did and tried to drive off and just smashed her car.
Wow. Did he get away or?
Some of them got away running, and I think they've got them all eventually. Yeah, there was just bullets everywhere. There's glass everywhere. The cops were out the whole next day, just marking everything, and there's bullet holes all in the house next door.
Your kids weren't over there that night.
They were.
Oh, that sucks, man. All right, well,
They enjoyed it because they now have stories to tell.
Got it. Yeah.
But I guess the bullet got lodged between my daughter's bedroom and the bathroom.
Oh my
So
God. It's like living at Hill Park Apartments, man.
Inside information, and that's my question about this over here is supposedly this park is going to be essentially like the new Acacia Park from this side of town.
Oh, okay.
Now my question is,
Where it's on Barnes, isn't it?
yeah,
Like east.
It's right there near Sky Sox and
Yeah, I know where it's going.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So, is this something that's going to benefit our homes, or are we going to lose value to our houses because the area is now infested with land Democrats?
No, so like it'll actually improve. It takes several years for a park to go shitty. Because like when you open a new park, like who comes to it? It's all families and stuff like that. People who live in the neighborhood and things like that. You don't start attracting, shopping cart pushers for a while until, because they're not gonna putz around when there's a whole bunch of like people and dogs and stuff, hanging out there. It takes a while. Or you have to have, so like the whole reason why Acacia Park has gone shitty, over the years, is just because it's probably one of the closest ones you can find to Fountain Creek. So, it doesn't really have anything to do with the design of the park. It's all location. And out here, I mean, see, this town is so different, man. So they do a census every year of the homeless population here, and it's so small. So people think it's huge, but it's like less than 150 people. So, and like...
What do you mean? 150 people per what?
In the fucking town. It's literally that small.
Huh.
So, yeah.
Wait, 150 people total?
Yeah. It is really that small.
Where?
Here. Dead fucking serious. Yeah. So, they do a census of them every single year. The cops know just about every last...
Homeless people, I was like, total?
Yeah, homeless people, total.
Well, that's what I was like. I thought you meant everyone.
No, that's close to 700,000.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, no. No, but for a municipality of this size, to have that small of a homeless population is almost fucking unheard of. So, and the reason why we have such a small homeless population here is, number one,
weather.
They're all basically in the same place.
Yeah.
Okay, so the cops regularly bust them up.
Yeah.
So they have actually more beds in this town than they have homeless people.
Yeah.
But it's the reason why you have 150 to 200 homeless people, and it fluctuates depending on season, of course. So, and a lot of them are transient, so they don't get counted, but they're only here for a couple of weeks, kind of thing. So this is a stable population. They don't go into the shelters and stuff because they make you get clean and they take away your pets. So, and you're not allowed to have those things in there. So, so eventually they move on to other places. Yeah. So, no. And so you're not going to see that many. I mean, every now and then you see one, hanging out at Powers and Carrefour.
Yeah, but the cops are going to let up,
oh, yeah.
fast.
It's because of the police station 3 blocks away. So,
Oh yeah, the police station will be right next to the
right
park.
next to the park, yeah. So that's true too. In fact, it'll probably be able to see the park. from the
Yeah,
police
that
station.
is-
And vice versa.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like people calling in. They actually just go to the window, lower the shade. Nah, they're fine.
Nah, fine.
It's good.
Yeah.
This will take care of itself.
No, that might be a good one. I didn't read all the details on it, but it's supposed to be pretty fucking big. So
It's supposed to be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I was curious if that meant that the actual attitude, basically personality of this area was going to change.
no, they're putting so much high tech or high dollar shit in here. So you got the brand new fucking emergency room right over here. So, in the geriatric hospital and stuff like that. So almost all those apartments over there are going to be old folks' homes. So, and you can tell that because they get internal elevators rather than fucking external stairs. So,
We've been watching that construction for a while from the park, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, man. There's going to be a lot around here. And then The big two projects are they're gonna overpass. I think this street. I thought it was Barnes, but I think it's Carefree that they're gonna overpass. So no,
Probably be easier to do.
and I think that was the thinking.
Yeah.
So originally I heard Barnes, but I can't remember. There was a story in the Gazoo.
I think Barnes would make more sense, but I think that's way easier.
I don't think that they could actually get it to work. So yeah, but so I don't know exactly what they're going to do. But the other one that they're going to do is Stetson. So they're going to do that one too.
Stetson makes sense.
That one makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Because when you drive down, so especially with that undulation right there, there's been a lot of times I come over that at 60 miles an hour. It's like, holy fucking. Time to hit the brakes. You know, might be going in the ditch here.
But see, that's the thing. You cannot slow down in advance because the people behind you won't tolerate
They'll
it.
be right on your ass.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I stay off powers as much as I possibly can anymore. So, Academy's the ticket. So,
That's insane.
oh, it's great.
I can't believe that
It's so
words are coming out of your mouth.
Oh,
Like,
when I go.
I know.
Academy is the wow.
When I go
that
north
is
south,
nuts.
that is my street now, man. I take it every time to work and back. So
Wow.
it's way less time. There's not near as many maniacs on it. So the only part that sucks is when you get down towards post. So because if you're there like roll call at 8 o'clock, there are people driving in the fucking lanes, or I mean in the fucking at the shoulder because Sarge is gonna be fucking pissed. Yeah. So
Yeah. All the old B side, like we joked about this, like the whole like, yeah, the real trick is Austin Bluffs to Rangewood. That's the
anymore.
secret sauce.
it's not anymore. That
No.
was just as bad. So yeah, it's just Academy.
That's nasty.
It's nasty.
Wow.
Well, because the school
It's just not.
Well,
Oh,
there's like 3 school zones, and then there's 3 schools right there, including my daughter's, and so
Yeah.
like it's just one of those things where it's like it's not even worth it most times to go that way anymore. It's just get on fucking Academy. It's great.
Yeah, because for the longest time, you'd go out there and you'd say, why'd they even bother building a Walgreens out here? Remember, there's that gas station that's off the road that just looked like it was a relic from like a bygone era. Like that's if you're going up Austin Bluffs over there that way, right? And you're getting to that intersection over there where Rangewood is, right? There's a gas station that's not next to the street, but it's further down. It would be the equivalent of like
On Rangewood?
no, on Austin Bluffs when you're getting close to Rangewood.
like a
right?
Templeton Gap.
Around there, yeah. And there's this gas station that's way off the road, and you're thinking like, is this left over from like the frontier days? Is this? It's so weird where it's placed, right? Because everything else is just right there, but then there's one just shoved in the back.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's been there for years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because there's one that's right there on Austin Bluffs and Stetson.
There is, but there's also one that is just shoved like off the road. You can still get there, but
I
it's
don't
just
know where that one is.
it's so bizarre because it just doesn't jive with the rest, and it's been like that for. There were times when that was the only building there.
That was a long time ago.
Well, yes,
was
don't get me
a long
wrong,
time
yeah, but
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, yeah, if we're not in danger of homeless land Democrats, then I'm not.
We are not in danger of homeless land.
That's fine. Okay,
So,
cool.
yeah.
Right.
So you still live in a very, very Republican-leaning place. So, in fact, I've been hearing all the new ads on the radio for the new mayor. They're all Republicans. So, I mean, I'm sure there's a Democrat running. They don't have the campaign funds to KRDO. So, and that's like, I don't know. They'd probably do it for a good pizza. Yeah.
Pizza, huh? That'll be their nomination.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, well, no, I mean, you could get on the radio if you want.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, it's just there's nothing. So yeah, I mean, we got a weird mayor's election anyway. That's always in fucking March. So
Is that what it is?
yeah, it's always in March, and they did it on purpose because they didn't want it on the fucking general ballot. So that's when all your land Democrats show up.
I don't know. Maybe that's the way to go. Maybe that's actually a wise decision is to
It's
split up.
rigged. It's totally fucking rigged. Dude, they do all the city council elections during the general election. They just move the mayor one to protect the fucking mayor.
No, I'm not. No. What I'm saying here is to actually sparse those things out more.
Why?
Why not?
You're gonna get small turnouts. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna get tiny
which means
turnouts.
then you get high influence if you can influence just those small number of voters.
So yeah, it's the exact same thing as like, you know, your school district, you know, your school board seats and stuff like that. You know, they do in a rando, like, you know, one-off elections every now and then, and so fucking 30 people who really give a shit or know that guy get him a spot on the board, and then like his district turns out to be some fucking lunatic who posts shit about Nazis. So, you know,
You want to talk about that fucking Antifa member from Sand Creek? Yes.
well, no, I'm talking about the board member. So you had that one that got booted for like.
I didn't even
You
pick.
don't even worry about it. It doesn't fucking matter. They'll replace him with another lunatic in 3 weeks. So, you know,
What's happened?
I think it was last fall.
Oh.
I think it was in the fall. So, you know, yeah, no, put all that shit in the same spot, man. So, if
I think every 6 months would be good.
no, man, if
And
you're
you get
gonna
both
do it,
days off.
if you're gonna do it, fucking, well, okay, yeah.
You get 2 days off. You just break it into 6 months. You go ahead and hit those two things. So yeah, sometimes you're like, this one doesn't concern me.
Wait. Who pays for the days off? Or are they unpaid days off?
It's gonna be
If it were up to me, they would be paid days off.
Okay, so I'm making it up to you. So they're paid days off. Who pays?
The company.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm off the train now.
Well, who else would pay for it?
I don't know. So
the governor.
the governor, yeah. So land Democrats.
Yeah, it's unpaid, no matter what it's.
I think we should just do it by phone now, anyway. So
That's ridiculous.
yeah,
My phone?
yeah, you should have an app that's like this is your.
Oh, I thought you were talking about calling in. I was like, what a pain in the ass.
Oh, fuck that. No.
Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Center.
El Paso County Registrar, clerk and recorder. Would you like to A, renew your license? B, vote for a land Democrat? Please hold.
If you don't like any of the presidential candidates, press 3.
Press 3. Yeah.
To write in the name, press the corresponding keys with the corresponding letters and we'll figure it out for you.
Yeah, you have selected regicide.
If you want to vote for Alfred E. Newman, press 1.
Right.
Yeah,
And it's just Kramer running movie phone.
pretty much.
Right, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, there's a thought, but I don't know.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It works fine the way it is. So
Here.
it works great here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand other places have problems, but I don't want to open that can of worms.
Yeah, no.
We'll save that unless you guys have any further thoughts. Maybe if you want to get sports stuff off your chest.
Go
I don't
Eagles.
think so.
Go
yeah.
Eagles. Yeah.
Fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's where we were before.
I think
I'm kind of pro Chiefs, so but I won't be heartbroken if they lose. So.
traitor.
I don't care. They killed my team, man.
We have a coach.
We do have a coach.
We have a coach.
So we got
We have no draft picks again, but we got a
So,
coach.
all right. So, like, this was actually on the radio today with that slow mouth guy that I listened to. So, he actually knows his football shit, though. He's really good about that. But man, it takes him a while to get through a sentence. So, but anyway, so he actually, I think this might have been Monday. Or it might have been today. I don't remember.
Probably Monday.
Yeah.
That was-
So when they announced Sean Payton and all
Yeah.
that stuff, and well, I guess that was when his press conference was
I think it was Monday or Tuesday.
something like that.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was Monday. It was
Yeah, I think it was Monday. And so anyway, yeah, he was saying he put out a bet for this other two co-hosts. And he said with Sean Payton, no changes in the 53-man roster, we're still a double-digit team next year. So
double-digit
wins. So he said we can have the same 53 guys next year and we'll make it to the playoffs.
I believe it. I mean,
Was the argument ever that they didn't have the talent?
well, as soon as they got rid of Hackett, our offense actually scored points. Like, I mean, it went from 15 to like 30 points a game. Like, it was not even close.
well, there's your problem.
Well, then put no gas in it. Put no gas in it. And that was a coach that they just kind of brought in and just said, "Here, have fun." And he said, "All right, I'm gonna run it like a real team." And I mean, then Peyton comes out and is just like, "No, we're not going to allow any external people that aren't on the team in the facility."
Yeah, why?
Because Wilson had his own coach kind of person that would come in to the facility and just be like counteracting what the coach was telling him to do and just being like, "No, this is how you need to do it. No, this is probably the best way. This is good for you."
Yeah, I didn't know that until he announced that too.
I knew
I
it
didn't
all
hear
year.
that story.
Yeah.
He had some fucking like Yaga Hoagie that
He had a whole entourage of people that just got to go wherever they wanted in the whole facility. Like, they're just like, "Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's
Well, that's on coach, man.
but there's no
That's on
coach."
Yeah.
And Peyton was
I
just
had
like,
no idea.
"That's not happening. If you're not part of the team, you're not in the building."
Yeah, he specifically
Wow.
announced that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I did not know that. No, wow, that's
Yeah, talk about filling a guy's head with his own ego.
well. I just don't know any coach that wouldn't turn around and say, "Who are you?
well,
Am I paying you?" No,
actually,
get
you
the
do
fuck
know a
out.
coach that would do that because he did it.
Okay. Now, here's the thing.
He didn't want to make anybody angry. Hackett was like goody buddy with everyone, and he thought that's how you can do it all. So never put his foot down.
That's kind of the manager you like, you know. It's like, I'm going home early today, so
Well, I mean, it would be nice if you'd stick around, but
can't today, coach.
all right,
Yeah.
all right. I
I'll
get
catch you on the
it. I get it.
So yeah.
I'm sure we'll see double your effort tomorrow, so that's good.
Absolutely.
All right, all right.
We'll see you at 10. I can't make it until 10 tomorrow.
Wait,
We're cool, though. I'll see you tomorrow.
that's Hackett. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that works in a couple of places. That worked in San Francisco. That worked in used to work in Seattle.
yeah, but he would still get angry.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, but that's the
Like Hackett wouldn't even say, "I hate the Raiders." He's just like, those guys are trying over there. We don't really, we don't really want to express the word hate here. It's just like, no, just come out and say, "I hate the Raiders." Yeah, hate's a strong word.
sometimes you got to throw it out there on front, so you're just like, "Look, I hate the Raiders as much as my racist old grandma used to hate black people." It's like, and may God rest her horrible racist heart, but I do feel that about the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Peyton already came out and he was just like, "Yeah, they're football teams, but we don't like them."
Only one
Well, he said everybody in the division. He just threw them all. He was like,
I understand.
"Oh, I agree. Get the hell out of here. Y'all suck. We're coming for your throats."
You've heard my argument. Are you the Patriots? Then I hate you. Yeah, if you're not, then I hate you.
So yeah, and immediately he was just like, "No, we're not whatever this thing was last year."
Especially if you have hatred that you can tie to, say, personnel, right? I liked the showdowns where there was still bad blood between guys that used to play for this team, or like a coach that's like,
Well, Shanahan hated the Raiders because they owed him money for
that's true.
decades.
That's true. Because he's like, "I'm going to take it out of your ass."
Enjoy losing every time.
It's true. He beat him like he was in the fucking mafia.
Yeah. Run the score. I don't care.
They lost it after a while. That's true. All right. Well, we got to wrap this thing up.
All right. I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
Jeffrey.
I'm going to go hit the button.
That's what so far.
It is. I'll bet you we can come up with a solution to this, but it really shouldn't be.
I already gave you the solution.
It was bullshit, though.
It's completely
No, that
logical.
doesn't
You
work.
just bring in a monitor. It's not hard. Everything else is wireless.
This is my breakfast table.